years, and I live here in Glens Falls. And it's so nice to see new council members here. New mayor, it's really great. I have two things. One, I simply want to pass around an invitation from the Adirondack Regional Immigration Collaborative. They're organizing or have organized an interfaith program on migrant rights and how you welcome the stranger. It's particularly important because Glens Falls is a community that for 2 centuries immigrants came here from many, many different countries, and they built this wonderful city, Hometown, USA. So come to it, I'll pass it around and invite others to do so.
Thank you.
The other is a more serious issue, and then I'm going to ask you, as elected officials representing everyone in this community, to make a statement, not necessarily this evening because it requires some information and knowledge about immigrants. But I've worked with migrants for 50 years from all over the world. My parents were migrants. I know what it's like to be new to a community, and then I finally, in my old age, moved to Glens Falls, and wow, that's really coming to a new community. So it's hard at any point in a person's life to become a member of the family living in Hometown, USA. And I know that means a great deal to everyone here. And I hope that you will take that feeling about welcoming the stranger to heart. Because what I want to ask you is to study and issue a public declaration that the city of Glens Falls will welcome everyone, whether you are here legally or illegally, to prevent ICE from coming into this city to use police, local police, to go after people who have moved here permanently or temporarily. They are our brothers and sisters. It's very important to do that. And I'll just pass this around, which lists some of the key issues that other local communities in New York State and the state itself are considering in terms of statements that can be issued. You have a great deal of power, all of you, in this community. And right now, everyone is at risk of losing a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, someone that they've known for a long time or just a few weeks. It matters. It really does. So we'll pass this around, and I ask that you consider it and at some point issue a public declaration that everyone is welcome in Hometown, USA.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council? Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. So the first committee report will be Councilwoman Dwyer. Very good. Okay.
We will be meeting next Wednesday at 5:30. I don't have the date from you. That's what but it's next Wednesday. I'm sorry, the date's not here, but 5:30 will be the
For planning to go.
there we go.
Great.
New name.
Okay. Councilman Dodd.
Audit and Finance Committee meeting met yesterday at 5:30. We had, everybody showed up, it was a great time. We went through a lot of goals and things that we want to accomplish over the next 4 years. We got a little bit of a start with it more, and I think it's going to be, like, we went through kind of issue of fund balance policy, setting up reserves and whatnot, so
Thank you.
we're going to be very busy.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman Mayer.
Sure, thank you. The Labor and Personnel Committee will hold its organizational meeting on Tuesday, February 24th at 6:30 PM in the mayor's conference room.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, policy committee, Council Ways.
Policy committee met today at 5 p.m. We reviewed several policy intake items and advanced a number of them to the next stage in our process, which is background research and preparation of concept memorandum. The process itself is going to be also reviewed to streamline. We also held some brief conceptual policy discussion on those items. This will continue as an ongoing rolling process. And I appreciate the engagement from the mayor's office, staff, and committee members. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Lappin.
Thank you, Mayor. The Technology Committee met on Thursday last week. We discussed a few different things. We decided that we'll have meetings on regular cadence, monthly cadence, and supplemental as necessary on the first Thursday of each month. We looked into several topics that were investigated further. One of them is looking at Microsoft Teams as a method to provide more information for our constituents, and also to provide us with information that we can use for meeting minutes, and also for just getting better documentation into the hands of our constituents. We have one of our committee members who's going to follow up with our IT supplier, and another is going to look into what other communities are doing on the topic. We're also looking into an AI policy, which I know was something you were very interested in. I'm going to reach out to NICOM for guidance on that, and also just kind of get a feel for what other communities are doing as well. We talked about some Munis issues that we wanted to dig into Munis a little bit more to see if we can get some help with that, and just get a better understanding of that. I think that covers what we covered in the topics there. I'll be sending out meeting minutes, I'll copy all the council with that.
Thank you. Councilman Paladino.
Our first quality of life committee meeting will usually going to be every third Monday at 5 p.m. on the second floor of City Hall. But because next Monday is President's Day, a holiday, our first meeting is going to be next Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Okay, thank you. So next we'll move on to our consent agenda. We have 16 items on the consent agenda, and we have one item on the regular agenda. Is there anything that anyone would like to pull for discussion from the consent agenda? No? Okay. I have one item I wanted to briefly discuss. In your consent agenda, there is some manual payments from the controller's office that are in there, and I was able to quickly stop into the finance committee meeting. We're engaging in some training overall in the city on how we put payments through, and so we did talk about this in a department head meeting, and the council, I'm hoping if everyone gets on the same page, we can start to make this smoother going forward. So if you look at our charter, the Common Council has the power to audit all accounts, meaning we should, or you all, should be approving most payments before they're made, right? The warrant has payments that need to be approved by you, and then they get paid out. The manual payments are payments that have already been paid by the time you see them. So the only real items that should usually be on the manual payments are fixed salaries and benefits, debt service, utilities and contracts lasting over a year. So we're working to move in the direction of making sure that that's the case. I wanted to point out that there are a couple items on these manual payments that don't fit that description. And again, we're working to phase that out, and as everyone gets trained, that will be the case. So there was one, for example, I'll just give you an example. There was one manual payment that was a tax payment. That's a routine payment that we should normally pay on the warrant. So just wanted to point that out. But otherwise, those have already been paid, and there's no problem with approving it. We're going to continue to improve the process going forward. With that, seeing nothing else that you want to pull for discussion, would anyone like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second motion.
Councilman Landry and Councilman Palladino, thank you. All right, there is one item on the regular agenda that I wanted to pull out to discuss. I did get a question ahead of time from Councilman Palladino. There's a contract in here between the city and 333 Glens Street Associates, which is a contract to provide parking to Counci, which is something that, we agreed to do. The issue is that this contract was signed in the last administration, and the 333 Glen Street had been asking the city for payment for the contract, but the contract never went through common council. So that's why we're approving that tonight, even though it was signed back in the last administration, because we can't issue a payment until the council approves this contract. So I just wanted to explain why it's coming through now. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Yes?
I just have a quick point of order. Do we need to vote on that motion for the consent agenda before we talk about the regular agenda?
You're right, we just,
All
we all in favor, yeah. We did. Yeah.
Yeah, you second.
I said,
I don't know what Sean says.
But you're right. Just to be, to wrap things up, we had a first, we had a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion's passed. Now back to the regular agenda. Is there any further discussion on that item? Yes.
Is it my understanding 333 Glen Street is behind in their tax payments to the city?
That has been the long-standing issue, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So this contract was signed by the previous mayor, and the time at this point for negotiating that contract has passed. You could choose not to approve it, and we could try again, but the problem is that there are already tenants moving into that building and asking for parking passes. So,
Just bothers me,
Yeah.
we're paying money to somebody who owes us.
So they're moving into 333 Glen Street and they're,
no,
I
this
don't
is,
understand, tell me that again.
this is for the Counci building
Okay.
that we agreed to provide parking for.
Oh, for the Nacho building.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And what I'm saying is that they're already asking for their parking passes, but the city couldn't pay it until the council approved it.
I get it.
So the previous administration entered into the contract, but it never went through the council. So I'm
Okay.
correcting that so that we can make those payments. Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Can I just one more question? So all of this is for the people that are going to be in the Nachos buildings on South Street? It won't be for city resident buildings?
That's not what this particular item is. Yes, we agreed to provide a certain amount of parking spots to them. That's what this is. That was agreed last term. This, though, is, again, a contract that was entered in to provide those spots that never went through the council, so I have to put it through the council now, even though it was approved last term. That's what we're doing here. Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
You're opposed, okay. Can we move roll call vote, or is just?
I can, if just because we have a composition, I can do that.
Okay.
All right, so Councilwoman at Large Gooden,
Do you want to redo the motion?
Second.
This is for the parking.
Okay, the 333 Glen Street.
Correct, so we're gonna do roll call, okay?
Okay, what do we have to pay them? Well, I would buy what the rate about.
So, do you want to change?
Yes.
So you're a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and Councilman Donahue?
Yes.
Councilman Landry?
No.
Okay. Councilman Rice?
Yes.
Councilman Malcolm?
Yes.
And Councilman Pellegrini?
Yes.
All right, motion passes. At this time, we'll go to old business. Councilwoman at large, good.
No business.
Okay. Councilman Donahue?
I guess we can file this under old business. 56 Wall Street is starting to become a bit of a problem again with trash piling up on the back. I just received an email along with buildings and codes today from the neighbor on the other side. It's really starting to pile up again. I know we took them to court under the last council, or not the last, so. you know,
Okay.
I don't remember the specifics of their agreement, but it might need to be looked at again soon.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know that this resurfaced and we will look into it.
Yeah, I agree, sir. Literally 2 hours ago.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Councilman Landry?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. I was wondering if I could get an update on the proposed work being done at the intersection of Glen and Sherman Avenue. I think when we approved the Stewart store there, I don't think the city had the money at the time, but Stewart's did make a commitment, maybe $150,000 or something. On that work, that intersection is unbelievable during the daytime, and at commute time, and when there's something going on downtown, it's backed up at Sherman Avenue. So I just wanted to make sure that was still on course.
Yes, I don't have a date for you, but I have been talking to our city engineer about that topic, and when I get more information, I will provide it to you. It hasn't been forgotten.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
The other thing is to just kind of give you a continuation of the work addressing the serious building and codes violations we found in the alley owned by the city on Ridge Street, between Ridge Street and the City Hall parking lot. The mayor pulled together a committee, brought all city department heads that are involved in the reported problems of the meeting on Thursday, February 5th, involved the city fire chief, someone from the police department, buildings and codes, I hope I didn't forget it. We discussed the problem at hand, which is the encroachment permits and the violations that are in that alleyway by the people who hold them. We discussed, having the fire chief and the buildings and codes officer go over there. And when we were with them after the meeting, we took a look, and every time we take a look at it, it's worse. So it was decided at the meeting that a second meeting will be held, and the mayor said she would call together the stakeholders, property owners that are involved in that piece of property. We actually found, when we did that, another piece of property that we own. We had somebody over there that's a private property owner that had actually fenced in their area, and while they were at it, they fenced in a big piece of our property. So that's how we addressed as well. But we will be having a second meeting, which is good, with those stakeholders. Yes.
The individual or the party that put up the fence, did you pull a fence permit for them?
I didn't, because they told me they were in the property. They said they didn't agree with this. What it is it's the next generation of a family that owns the building. The previous generation had fenced it all in and they thought it was all theirs. They recently came forward to me and said, oh, by the way, we found out that's not our property, and we'll take that fence off. I don't know whether they were down or not. That's a good question, but I think the fact that it's being addressed is good.
What was the date of the second meeting?
I'm sorry?
What was the date of the second meeting?
We haven't, the mayor will be announcing that.
Okay. Old business, Councilman Rice?
No.
Okay. Old business, Councilman Malcolm?
I just wanted to amend my committee report because I noticed a couple more notes. That one of the things was we need to update our cybersecurity policy. And I need to present third ward, my third ward colleague with the WISC for the policy committee, because that was policy. We are in the process, because of the change of administrations, of bringing forward the orbital fire proposal for enhanced cybersecurity. Dan and I have seen the proposal, we're good with it. I just want Sean to get up to speed with it, and I wanted to include Councilor at Large Gooden with it as well, because she was at the meeting that we had on Thursday. And also that I'm looking into a bring your own device policy, which is standard for large organizations, to see what would be best practices so that I can make a recommendation to my committee. And that is it.
Okay, thank you. Old business, Councilman Palladino.
I just want to make a note about the very heartwarming and hopeful, after tragedy, Alex Brady Mitchell that occurred two Sundays ago. I with Carrie Moore speaking and a whole bunch of nurses from Glens Hospital. It was very uplifting, and it shows that this community really does care about everybody, as Katie mentioned.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to new business. Councilwoman at Large Gooden, that is enough.
New business. I just was wondering, how is everything going now with your new positions in your office? How is that transition with Steve and Chip from the transition with them taking over?
Yeah, things are, I've been really happy with how things have been going in terms of our agendas, which Steve is doing, and also a lot of the, I don't know if you follow all of our social media and our Notify Me, we've been really trying to stay on top of all of those things. So I've been happy with that process. I think it's going well. I don't know if there are any concerns about anything.
Well, I do have a concern.
Sure.
Because I have been trying to make an appointment, and I haven't been able to get through. I've left messages, and I'm having a really hard time. I'm starting to take it personal. So, I mean, it's...
With me,
I've been calling. I know Chip's been sick, and
yeah,
that's been an issue.
okay. I'm sorry that you're having that experience. Chip has been out for several days sick, and that might be why. I think I sent you all an email a while ago indicating that there's a different email you can use to directly reach me. So definitely use that if you are not getting an answer from Chip. That is, I don't believe that'll be a normal occurrence. He's been out sick for a few days, so I apologize for that. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, okay. I know we had a recurring appointment set up, and then the first appointment, there must have been a miscommunication with you didn't come. Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
It's been several.
Okay, all right, thank
so
you
we
for...
just need to talk, because I have a few things.
Yeah, I would love to meet with you. I think I've met with multiple council people who made appointments with me.
I need to see.
Yeah, so, okay, absolutely. I will make sure to, I'll just reach out to you directly because I think Chip is still outside. Okay? All right. And you can always reach out to me directly. You have my phone number. You can always reach out to me directly. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, all right. New business, Councilman Donahue.
No new business.
Councilman Lynch.
Thank you, Mayor. And just one quick question. In your technology committee, are you guys looking at ACH procedures and what happened at one time? I don't even know if the city has any.
I don't know exactly what you mean by...
An ACH is where there is it's transferred directly electronically from the city or county to a bank account. And what happened at the county is somebody went in maliciously and said, here, we want to send to this bank account.
Well, that's not really a technology issue per se, that's more of a purchasing and,
Finance?
yeah, finance.
We'll put it up.
Yeah,
Or we could look at it.
Yeah.
Finance for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah. I mean, it's technology adjacent, but, you know,
Yeah.
they're exploiting, you know, the use of technology to do it, but it's kind of really wrapped up in finance.
Thank you very much.
But that, it's a good note to make.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. First, thank you, Gary. I understand that we received no bids for contractors to do emergency sidewalk snow removal from properties that are in violation of the city's sidewalk removal code. So is that request still out there?
Yes, so I've been trying to stay on top of this because I don't want it to fall by the wayside. So because we've now put out 2 requests with no responses, we can now direct solicit. So I asked DPW to reach out to people directly and see if there's interest, and that's where we are now. But we had to go through 2 bidding processes before we were allowed to do that.
Okay. The next thing has to do with snow, funny to the snow. So I just wonder what the priority is, what priority is given to removing snow piles in front of downtown businesses. Now, the reason I ask that is this, that on the weekend of January 30th through February 1st, there were 3 hockey games in downtown Glens Falls that drew approximately 14,000 people down. And I went to 2 of those games, and I watched people walk on the road, because you couldn't get out of the car, and businesses don't shovel all the way to the front to get into the sidewalk there, and they were there for walking along the edge of cars to get to the corner to get on. And, you know, one of the things that I think is important, and I'm not really sure what it is, but it is setting some priorities. And I think that needs to be looked at. I'm not saying every time it snows we need to leave the downtown. We had a major snowfall. I do know that the DPW, because I watched it, did a good job cleaning the parking lots, and that's important too. But I think we should have a discussion on that, because in order to have a successful downtown community and a vibrant business district, you have to make it convenient for people to come. So I would hope that maybe we'd have that discussion with DPW at some point in time to make sure that that's in there, so that it's not waiting, and that sometimes we maybe go a little ahead of schedule because we have 14,000 people coming to town. Same thing that we do when basketball is here. When basketball is here, a little extra effort is put downtown. When we've got major events or large groups of people come, I think that'd be a good idea.
I did have a discussion about this at the bid meeting that I attended last month with the downtown business owners, and I also have started discussions with this with DPW, but I agree we need to further flesh out a plan that's specific. But it is something that, and the bid sent out a reminder to all the business owners after that meeting, and we're kind of thinking we have to tackle it from both ends. We have to be on top of it so do they, right, and they're shuffling, so. Yes, thank you.
And last but not least, and it's definitely not least, I'd like to welcome, they're about to move. Scratch Kitchen's going to move on to 21 Ridge Street, which I think is wonderful. They have a good following. They have business here in downtown Glens Falls in the past. They're down on Warren Street, just a little out of the downtown area right now. So I think they'll be a great addition, and they'll also join us in our discussion about where to put trash containers for restaurants, especially in the Ridge Street area. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, new business, Councilman Rice.
I have one item on new business. Constituent recently contacted me with concerns about what they thought might be a water main issue after noticing a significant crack in their roadway. This was at, I guess, the east side of Monuments. So the water and sewer construction crew responded immediately, and while I was still chatting with this constituent, they went out to the site, they spoke directly to the homeowner, confirmed that it was just a roadway crack and not a water and sewer issue. So I just want to thank the water and sewer construction crew for their quick response and for taking the time to explain the situation to the residents so clearly.
Thank you. Well, have you passed that on to Bill Norton so that he can tell the staff?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. It's always nice to give them the positive feedback because we get both.
Positive feedback directly as well.
Yes, good. New business, Councilman Lappin.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just curious if we could reach out to the various departments and just kind of get a baseline of what existing policies that we have that might help with our policy making committees to know what we have ahead of time, even if it's just coming in as a trickle. That would be helpful for us.
I think that Councilman Rice, as the chair of the committee, is welcome to do that, or one of the committee members if you choose that someone else does that work. But yeah, that seems like a good strategy to me.
Is there a whole email list, like is like their department heads at City of Glens Falls, that'll go to all of them?
Yes, there
Okay,
is.
cool.
Yeah. I'll make sure that you have it.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. New business, Councilman Paladino.
I just want to highlight that this Saturday is Valentine's Day, and all of the local restaurants downtown have so many lovely Valentine's Day menus. And there's probably going to be snow, so just make sure everyone gets plenty of time and parks a little far away so they can walk around and enjoy the Valentine's Day festivities.
And the day before is Galentine's Day.
Yeah.
I have
And Friday the 13th.
Thank you. I have a few things I wanted to update the council on. First of all, I want to thank you all for your work to get a new committee structure started, to organize, to find dates, to meet on a regular cadence. I really appreciate that. And I think you're going to do very good work. It sounds like you're off to a good start, so thank you. I wanted to talk to you about the occupancy tax that the city gets from the county. So my goal, I had a meeting with Heather Bagshaw, who's the tourism director at the county, and Amy Collins, who's our tourism director. And the county uses an application portal for people to submit applications asking for occupancy tax funds. And so we're going to try to work together to pilot the municipality kind of piggybacking on that portal, and so that we can have it too. So when we find out what we get for occupancy tax funding, we'll open up that portal so that people who wish to apply for funding can use that. In the past, those decisions were sometimes just made with a few people, and I want it to be a more democratic process, so we'll open up that portal, people can apply, and then the council will be able to vote on who gets that funding. So I wanted to let you know that that's in the works. I also wanted to tell you, Councilman Landry knows because we had a discussion about this, but I am working to try to create, to free up our officers to be able to have foot patrols again in the city, at least one dedicated officer to our downtown area. And of course, that's not easy to do with staffing levels. And one of the barriers that I'm learning about is that right now, if there's somebody who's awaiting arraignment, the county has facilities to hold those people, but they don't usually take the people in Glens Falls. They take them from other parts of the county, and there are officers or sheriff's staff assigned there. What's happening in Glens Falls is that the people, if we have, it's usually maybe one or two people. If we have one or two people, an officer has to be pulled off the shift to basically sit there with that person. That means that's one less person that we have per shift. So I have been in conversations with the county to try to change that so that we can take those people to the county and then return our officer to duty instead of having them just sit there. Judge Hoggs has been helping us in advocating for this. There's a previous memorandum of understanding that had been signed by previous Sheriff Bud York and previous Police Chief Tony Leiden, and we're trying to see what we can do to improve that. So I've had conversations with the county about this, and I think they're sounding like they're amenable to working with us, so I wanted to let you know, and I think that'll be a good step forward. Let's see. Speaking of Judge Hobbs, everybody probably saw that he has announced his retirement. So I want to congratulate him on a great career, and I also want to make sure that people know that we will be looking for resumes and interest letters so that we can appoint a new judge. It's my responsibility to appoint a new city court judge, and I think if we have applicants, what I'd like to do is have the labor committee sit in and interview those people so that we can make an appointment. I am excited to announce that we have made an offer to hire a director of planning and zoning, and she has accepted our offer. So Allison Gaddy will be our new director of planning and zoning. She has been a planner in Saratoga County, in Albany, and at the Lake George, Lake Champlain Regional Planning Commission. So that is very exciting news. She'll be starting with us on a part-time basis as she wraps up her work, and then we'll be starting full-time next month.
So she'll be writing the grants.
She should be writing most of our grants, helping to implement the comprehensive plan, helping to lead us through the planning and zoning. We're going to be amending our zoning code. And also, because we're basically separating building and codes from planning and zoning, Devin, who works in building and codes, will move to report to Allison. And we'll have a whole new department where people can come, and if they have a project that they need input on before they take it to the planning board or the zoning board, there'll be staff there to help them with that. So I'm excited to get that started. I think that's all I have for new business. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address us? Okay. Seeing none, I would, actually, you know what, I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. I wanted to update you on a concern that was recently raised regarding a proposed new soil treatment operation, not here, but in the nearby community of Fort Edward. I'm still gathering information about any potential impacts to Glens Falls, but they're requesting that I put a comment in to the DEC during the comment period regarding this, and I don't see any downside to requesting that a public hearing be held in case our residents have any concerns. I did see that the superintendent of the Hudson Falls School District put in a comment opposing this, and the town of Fort Edward has also done the same thing. I'm not ready to say whether I oppose or not because I haven't researched it, but I do think asking for a public comment period and supporting our neighboring community and seeing if any of our residents who could be impacted have anything to say. And before I do that, I wanted to ask the council if you have any concerns or thoughts with that. So I would really just be saying I would like to see a public hearing occur.
That's fine.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So I'll do that then. And I'll let you know if I hear any more about that.
Could I ask where should people go to get more information? What you said, should they,
I don't know if
It's
I don't want to put you on the
it's-
spot.
Sean, I can get it to you. It's on the DEC website.
Okay. Deputy City Attorney Bringer was on that call with me and helped me helped me locate the public comments that have been made before. And so that's why I asked her. So she's saying that it's on the DEC website. Okay. At this point, I would like to ask for a motion to move into executive session for the purposes of discussion of the medical history of a particular person, matters leading to the appointment and promotion of a certain person or persons, matters concerning employee discipline, and a proposed real estate conveyance when publicity would substantially affect the value of the transaction.
I make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Do we need to,
Yeah.
do anything for like when, we're not gonna make a decision or vote on, and then like, when we come out of session, to say that, so that the clerk can leave, say that,
Yes, we were talking about that before the meeting, so I because we're not gonna take any action.
So
We're
all
just,
we have to do then is say who's making the motion
Right.
to adjourn. And I can make that motion if I can get a second.
Second.
Mary seconds.
oh, you're trying to do that ahead of time?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's, oh,
We can just do it and we'll record it and then
Okay.
report it to her. Okay, okay. So
are
at
you
this
going
time, we are adjourned for executive session. Did someone else?
You want this done, right?
Yes.